Hello cousin, let me show you how I make my shredded chicken filling that I use for lasagnas, any pasta, patelitos, or just for tacos. I have a large pot of water going on high heat. As soon as the water starts to simmer, I'm going to add in 6 cloves of garlic that I smashed, and this allows for a lot of the flavor of the garlic to escape. I'm going to also add 1 tablespoon of black pepper and 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm going to allow the simmer to break into a boil. Once the water starts to boil, I'm going to add in 3 large cleaned and washed chicken breasts. This is going to go straight into the pot, and I'm going to cover this for 20 minutes. I'm going to allow this to cook for 20 minutes on high heat. Once those 20 minutes are up, I'm going to pull my chicken from the boiling water and I'm going to allow them to cool. This is going to take about 15 minutes for them to cool completely, and I'm going to drain the water from this pot. Once my chicken breasts have cooled, I am going to break them apart into large pieces back into the same pot that they were boiling in. They're so much more easier to handle once they're cooled. Now, to shred the chicken, you can either do this by hand with 2 forks, or if you're like me, you're going to use your hand mixer, and this is going to be done in 2 minutes as opposed to 10 to 15. I always start out on a low setting and then I gradually build it up to a high setting, and this takes 2 minutes to shred the chicken. Also, if you have a food processor, you can do this in a food processor. I'm going to set my shredded chicken aside in a bowl, and then I'm going to go right back into the pot. To this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. This is going on medium-high heat, and I'm going to add in 2 chicken bouillon cubes. I'm going to break down my chicken bouillon cube by mixing them around, and then I'm going to add in my vegetables. I'm using half of a yellow onion, half of a red bell pepper, and half of a green bell pepper that I diced. And I'm going to move this around until my vegetables start becoming soft. Once my vegetables are soft, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of sofrito, 2 yellow seasoning packets, and 1 orange seasoning packets. These are condiment seasoning packets. And specifically, I'd like to note that I like to use the seasoning packets from the Accent brand. These always give great color, never too yellow, never too orange, and they give perfect flavor. They are never salty. Once this is combined, I'm going to continue seasoning, and I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of ground oregano, and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Mix this really well together, and yes, this is going to become thick and clumpy, and then you're going to add in half a cup of water. The water is going to thin out the seasoning and is also going to keep our chicken extra moist. Now I'm going to add in the shredded chicken, and I'm going to combine the chicken into the seasoning really well. It's going to start taking on that awesome shredded chicken color, like when you bite into your favorite chicken patelito and it tastes delicious and it has that awesome color. This is that shredded chicken recipe that you've been looking for. Make sure the chicken is well coated in the seasoning, then lower the flame to low and let this sit for 10 minutes so all of these flavors can marry. At the end of those 10 minutes, cousin, you have made your shredded chicken filling. Go ahead and make your lasagna, your baked ziti, or your patelitos. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. See you again next time.